voice.
Oh shit. Um, okay, we're gonna talk about streaming. All right. Um, we all stream on Twitch. Our handles will be in the description if you want to go follow us there. Um, only two of us have ever changed our names. Eris, did you have a name before Eris?
Nope.
No.
I have been Eris and Emerson since I've started.
How long have you been on Twitch?
I have been on Twitch, I want to say around 2014.
Okay.
I haven't been streaming since that long. I dabbled in it over the years, but didn't really become a constant thing until 2019.
Okay. Um, and Muggle, how long have you been streaming? Or how long have you been on Twitch? Not streaming.
I've been I've had an account on Twitch for probably 4 or 5 years, I would say. Um, but I didn't start streaming, like actively streaming, because I started streaming on my PlayStation, my PS4. When I started like actually streaming and actually caring about it, it was probably 2019.
Okay. It's kind of crazy to think about because like I started on Twitch probably like 2016. Just like watching religiously for like a whole like 2 years, I feel like, before I started doing any kind of streaming. And I started on my PS4 too, probably for like 6 months or something, and then I moved over to my PC. But we all started streaming like in 2019, which I think is super weird. I don't know, maybe 2019 was a big streaming year for a lot of people.
I think that was just the year.
It was
Uh,
the year.
but uh, I will say that, in meeting you and meeting Muggle, a lot of the people I have met through both of you and through other friends who stream, it is similar. Like we've all started streaming around the same time. I think some of us have started streaming before the other, but we kind of all, in a weird way, we kind of all found each other. This little group that started streaming at the same time. We can say it's a cohort, basically.
What's that?
A cohort is just a group of people who, like like when you're in college, you have a cohort for all your classes, like especially for your last 2 years when you're doing your actual like career classes.
Yeah, yeah,
You're traveling with the same cohort, which is the same group of people with every class.
yeah.
So in that sense, we kind of created our own little cohort of Twitch streamers. Like I met you, I met Muggle. I don't know if I can actually name other people, um, and I won't.
due,
But
due to legal purposes.
due to legal purposes and just to not expose anybody else so I can get the views. But everyone I met through that, because you know how we met, Gray. Um, everyone I met from him and from you, who is a streamer, also started streaming around that same time.
True.
So I think that's really interesting. And we've created our own little community. We might not talk to them anymore, but that
I
was our community for a while.
Yeah. I always kind of wonder like what if I would have started earlier? Like what if I would have had the guts to start when I actually started, and just did it. And then I think about that with like other aspects of my life too. But, just with streaming, like I mean, what if it would have been like a lot different? Would I have still met like everybody that I talk to now? Because I know we all talk about how sometimes we don't even go into like big streams, right? Or we're just lurking and not even talking. So there's so many people that you can get to know that just don't talk, to you in your streams or get to know you. And I wonder if like one of us would have been big that we would have never met the other ones.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be here having this conversation
For
about
sure.
what animal you would be and which one you would have sex with.
Which never happened. We never talked about that. Um, but yeah, so I'm sure we've all talked about this thousands of times already because we talk every day, which we also need to talk about. But why did you guys start streaming? Whoever wants to start, just start talking.
Well, wait, like what? Because we were still in the first section of it too.
Wait, what was the first section?
So I started streaming because I specifically remember, like, this is a good topic too. Just the fact, like, what did you watch on Twitch that made you like Twitch?
Okay.
So I started watching a streamer specifically on my PlayStation that she doesn't actually stream anymore, but I remember her streaming Outlast and she was just really funny. So I got more into Twitch, and then when I was dating the first guy I ever dated, like seriously, I got really into GTRP. I got really into watching it. At the time, I didn't want to really do it. Plus I was still just like I didn't have my PC yet. But I I don't know, just the idea of at first it was definitely like people make money off of this and that's really cool. So it's possibility, but just getting to meet people in general because I've I've always suffered with a lot of loneliness. So I'd say my biggest thing for starting to stream was just to meet new people and make new friends. And I've definitely did that, but it is interesting how my perspective on streaming as far as when I started, why I did it compared to like why I do it now has changed a lot. So for me, I definitely think I specifically started it for financial reasons, the possibility of that, but it turned into
Uh,
You cut off for me, so I didn't hear the last words. I'm sorry.
just repeat the last sentence.
what was it? I'm freezing.
Okay.
and, and, and thank you, Muggle.
Am I back?
Yeah.
So I think the last sentence was I definitely started it for financial gain because I thought about that, but it slowly transformed into just communicating with people overall,
Okay.
and it helped because it helped me a lot with social anxiety and that aspect of becoming, me.
Right. That's interesting. Are we still here or are we paused? Or
Sorry,
paused?
cutting out.
Are we back? Are we back?
Okay, we're back.
Um, I was gonna say I think it is an interesting point that how you even got on Twitch in the first place. I know I brought him up like multiple times, but his name is Wavy, which I know I probably shouldn't mention his name, which we can edit. So one of my favorite streamers. Um, he was just so funny and just so like loving and just was so into his chat, and I was like, I want that. I want a sense of community, which I don't like really have in real life besides like my family, which is a community in its own. But I wanted to make a lot of friends, and be able to do something that I like doing, play video games while I'm doing it. And I saw that they were having fun and doing it on Twitch, so I was like, why not? I'll try it too. But yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like basically everyone's experience with Twitch and how they first start streaming. For me, it wasn't really Twitch itself. It was I was watching YouTube at a time and like PewDiePie and all these other like big name game creator like video game players and game creators. Um, like I just watched them and I'm just like, well, I'm funny. I'm funny. I have a sense of humor. I can probably
I
play
can
video
cry
games.
on cue. Oh,
I can. And I've always found it fascinating to go onto a platform and stream and putting yourself out there. It's very, in a sense, it's like you, when you first start, you're very vulnerable. And I decided to try it. It's something I had always talked to my best friend about. She got me my first streaming mic.
ooh,
Yeah, I know. Shout out to her. She's amazing. And I think that was the push I needed to like actually sit down and do it. Um, and I didn't really go in it for financial gain. Yes, you do have that like in the back, like, well, what if like I'm like the next like big Like, what if I'm like the next ninja or something, right? Um,
That was almost Muggle.
it was almost Muggle when he played Fortnite.
I'm not good.
Sometimes you
Can't
got it.
build.
I can't. Um, but to say that that was like the least thing that I wanted for me, it was I'm 22 years old. I don't have a I don't have a bunch of friends in person. I only have my solid like 4 friends.
Wait, you're talking about back then, right?
Yeah, well, still.
Yeah, but you're not 22 now.
No, I'm like 24, 25.
25, right? Because that's what you said earlier. Sorry,
I'll
it
be
just confused me.
I think I'll be 25 in May. So yeah, let's just round up.
Wait, Muggle, remember he's trying to have a whole new personality, so that he's trying to do that now, but you're
Yeah.
ruining it for him.
I know, you're making me expose my true self.
You don't have to change.
He's also trying to change his voice, but you won't let him do that. Fuck.
Sorry.
No. Sorry.
Sorry. Continue.
No, yeah, it was just that. I felt like I didn't really have a bunch of friends. I don't know how to really put myself out there. And by some miracle, I found Gray, and finding Gray, I found Muggle, and I found. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind, but I'm just gonna call him Sheik. But we know who we're talking about. I found a lot of
Hey yo. Okay,
hey
go on.
yo. I found a lot of people I'm very grateful for meeting. I don't feel like I have a community as of yet, as compared to Gray, but that's because like I see how much time and effort you put into streaming, how much like you do, and I feel like you're constantly trying to improve your stream to make it better, not just for you but for the viewers. Um, and I just don't have that time, so they get what they get from me.
I think it's more like I don't have the time, but I make it because I think I care about everyone and I want it to be a good time when I stream. And even when I'm not streaming, I still want like when you guys are streaming, I try my hardest to like show up and like be there because I know you guys are always there for me. So I just, want to show my love for everybody that shows love for me kind of thing.
Yeah, which is
But
also something I've been like struggling with, where I'd much rather be there and support a fellow streamer than to stream myself.
right. No, I feel that. Sometimes I do feel that way. Instead of like me streaming, I'll see someone like go live. I'm like, fuck, I'd kind of want to just be a chatter and see what's going on there. But I always thought it was funny. Before I started streaming, I would go into like everyone's chat and just talk to people, and everyone thought I was a female.
It's true.
And they found out I was a guy, and then that's when everything went downhill. So.
And I still think I'm a girl.
um, but who was? Do you guys remember any like the first small streamers you ever like encountered? Like went into their chats and like try to talk to them.
um, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Are we saying names? Are we not supposed to?
Well, I'll say that the person.
So I can edit whatever you want me to out.
So the
I
first
mean,
streamer I did watch was a big streamer, and that kind of got me into it. But once I started streaming, someone viewed me, and Jamil, I think you know who I'm talking about because they introduced me to you. And I wouldn't consider him big at the time.
Okay.
You're like, I don't know who you're talking
Yeah, but we can talk about it later. So you
about.
can remind me.
It. I'm just gonna say it, but you know, Deku.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, he was the first person to watch me and follow me on Twitch.
Is that where we met?
I met you through his stream.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he was one of the first small streamers I ever ran into too because he was just always on when I was working, and that's when I watched Twitch was just during work. It was just a good experience all around. I'm glad he's back too.
I am too. He was really missed.
Muggle?
well, I want to say first off, I think we should be able to say whatever Twitch name we want because if anything, it's just more possibility for them to gain traction.
True.
Um,
But we also don't
wh-
want to say anything problematic and that have them linked to this?
Never. I would never. I
Okay.
don't like to create tension.
What are you drinking? Is that urine?
Yes. As you can see, we're not very healthy this year. But no, I never watched a lot of small streamers. And it wasn't anything like because they were small, it was more like I said, I really got into like RP, so I watched a lot of like the first person I really can remember watching a lot, her name's PMS Proxy. I don't think she really does RP anymore. I think she does like League now.
Wait, was she a big streamer or a small streamer?
She was a partner.
Okay, okay.
I mean, she still is, but yeah, so I've always watched big streamers and then and I've never been a chatter. I'm not one that goes into people's things in chats. I just like
Lurking.
watch. Yeah, like I just watch the content or I just have it on in the back. It's always been more for me like I'm not alone because I know it's live and such.
Yeah.
Which now like I watch VODs and stuff, but as far as the first smaller streamer that I can say I ever really got to know and actually formed a relationship with that was like a mutual thing was probably Captain. And through Captain, I met JUHMEAL, and then through JUHMEAL, I did meet Eris. So that's how it's just been like a chain of events. But Captain definitely was the first person, and I think that's why he's still very special to me because he's him like remember him like rating me and hosting me and um it it was more viewers than I was used to. And I just remember that like it just gave you that little like boost in confidence that like someone wants to watch or like someone's enjoying it. And when people tend to stick around or come back, like that's what adds to that.
Yeah.
And through my time of meeting him, he's always came back and I've always appreciated that.
Yeah.
But he's definitely probably the one I can recognize as not only like definitely the first one I've ever like chatted with and like got to know. And that was always a lot for me because I I think to an extent it's very easy to get on like a webcam and talk to strangers. Not for everyone, but IRL like talking to people like it's hard for me. I'm very backward socially as compared to normal people, but Twitch has definitely helped me with that. And
I'm sorry, I'm just watching Gray struggling to get a little finger heart.
I'm so
what are you
confused.
doing?
Is it like this?
Little Korean hearts, like Korean finger hearts. Yeah.
Like this?
I can say that I am
You
thankful.
Freezing.
Oh.
there you go.
I like that you just said freezing because it really did help me realize that we were frozen.
Yeah, let's find like a safe word.
Cummies.
No.
Moist.
Voice. But yeah, I found Muggle through a raid that Captain did. And Captain found me. Captain found a lot of us, I feel like. And accidentally brought us all together. And now he doesn't talk to any of us. No one said the safe word.
I said cummies.
But just to add to that topic, I can say like especially with like you two, I just find it very interesting how because I have a deep personal bond with both of you, and it's very different. You know what I mean? I think our relationship with everybody is very different, but like I can say Eris and I's relationship, I've never so easily meshed with someone and quickly like
Matched.
Is this another animal fetish you got going on? Like the fuck?
I've never so quickly hit it off with someone as I have Eris. Like it's just mind blowing to me. And I think like our circle just goes to prove like you don't have to be in the same town or the same high school to have a truly amazing bond with people.
Well, when you were in high school, I was like in 5th grade.
That's true.
So
Wow.
Is that
You're like
true?
years older. No. Maybe when I was in 7th grade, fresh in high school.
Yeah.
No, like, and I still remember. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't remember Eris and I's first conversation. I remember hearing his voice in like one of your streams, Jamil, and being like, "Hey, his voice is so beautiful." But I do remember Jamil and I's first conversation because I had watched him stream. Or no, he was in my stream first, and he said something, and I'm like, and I told him like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come to your stream and ask if you have a boyfriend," and he's like, "Okay." So the first when you went live first, when I first saw you, I asked you, and it was from there. Yeah,
I was single.
and to this
was.
I'm still single.
until this day, you are still like my first ever subber.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
and I don't know. As as my Twitch channel has grown, so having our friendships. So it's like we've done the journey together. And I know we're all at like different levels as far as like I agree with Eris. I don't feel like I have like a community. I just don't feel like I have that built yet. And I think it's hard too with me specifically because one, I do deal a lot with whether I even want to stream or not. And I don't think it's as much Twitch itself. I think it's I just let my personal IRL stuff like to mentally affect my Twitch stuff. I think deep down I want to build a big community and just really love Twitch. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I think you guys don't give yourself enough credit because maybe you don't have like the whole sense of community, but you do because we all of the same people still show up to each of our streams. You know, we all
Yeah.
still support each other. So the community is just as much yours as it is mine. Like you guys put in just as much work as I did. Yeah, maybe like I fostered it a little bit and I like pushed you guys to be friends with me, but you know, it works both ways. Also
Those
like
hateful emails that I have archived.
you guys get just as many viewers as I do. Like you guys know my struggle with changing games and playing what I want and how my viewership drops all the time. Or sometimes I'll end up with like 75 viewers if someone raids me that, I know. But that happens with like everybody. So again, you guys need to give yourself more credit cuz you do just as much hard work as I do. Maybe not as often because I stream too much, but that's my own issue. But yeah, you guys are doing a great job, and you guys have always been doing a great job. And I'll let you know if you stop doing a great job.
That's true. Thank you. It does mean a lot. Um, I know one of the things I've been struggling with the most, and it's something I have like mentioned in the spreadsheet, but for me, it's finding a game I really want to play. Like, I grew up with playing video games, especially single player video games, and loving them, loving the story, loving that escape from reality. And the whole purpose of becoming a streamer was I can bring other people with me on this journey and I can probably make it funny, especially if it's a horror game. Because I know there are so many people out there who don't like horror games. If I can make anything that's scary funny to anyone, I feel like I am doing a good job.
Okay.
Um, that being said, like I just lost any sense of wanting to play horror games or any kind of game. And that's what I'm struggling with the most as a content creator, if you will. Quotations around content creator because I don't, there's really no content being created.
Sure.
um, but yeah, I feel like that's one of the struggles right now is I'm having a kind of, I'm hitting a wall with what game to play. if I can play Demon Souls, but I'm not gonna advance, and I don't know if that's entertaining to just see me die over and over and over again. Or I can play. I mean, like the last time I streamed that I had fun, I literally streamed Beat Saber for 5 hours.
And I
I
think that's a big thing too. I think we have it in our heads. At least I definitely know I do, and I've talked about this not like on, but well, I've talked about it on stream because I don't really have any limits as far as filtering myself. I'm just like whatever. I say whatever.
Yeah.
And um
Yes, you do.
I've struggled a lot since streaming. Like when I first started streaming and started gaining a bigger viewership, it was like Dead by Daylight. And even when I stopped like enjoying the game, I would still play it because that's what brought in the viewers. And like I'm finally at the point now where I've fallen in love with Red Dead
Freezing.
just that it's really fun, moist.
Okay.
Moist.
No. Are we back? Yeah, I think we're back.
Okay, so yeah, I've really fallen in love with Red Dead Online, and like when I have been streaming lately, I've been streaming it, and like not a lot of people want to watch that or come to watch it, but I don't care because it's just like if people want to be there, that's great. If not, then that's okay too. But like I'm just playing a game at the end of the day, and I'm gonna play what I want to play or do what
But
I want to do.
yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And I think it's very important for the streamer to be enjoying themselves to make the community or the chat like also feel, it's just like that spread, like, smile, and you should feel more happy, and also tell, people would feel happy around you. But I also think people need to slow down and give things a chance. Just because you're not getting an instant viewership off a game does not mean you won't. Just that community has to find you. Like, there's no way for them to find you. Twitch is not the easiest place to find small streamers.
Yeah.
So that's why you notice a lot of small streamers that we all know and love, making TikToks and YouTube videos to get their name out there, to get into that community so they can grow that way. And honestly, just the realization that I'm having at this very moment, speaking those very words, I had this conversation with myself like 2 days ago before I brought out the podcast. I was like, we got to start something because I want to create more content. I think it'd be fun. Not that we're going into like, not that this is going to be displayed on a certain like gaming YouTube channel or anything, but it'd just be nice to get out there, you know.
Yeah.
Tell your
And to
sister we
talk
said hi.
about meaningful things.
Yeah.
That being said, I want to piggyback on something you just said with the realization of creating content and wanting a bigger community, or even just trying to form a community. You are right. Our communities are kind of intertwined with one another. Like we all share the same viewers. Um, but if we really do want to make an effort, and if we do want to grow, then we should be putting in um, that effort with other forms of social media. I know plenty of small streamers, um, semi big streamers who are going to TikTok and getting a growing from there, or going on Reddit and you know advertising themselves on there and or on Twitter. So I think it's just like the whole like, where do I see myself as a streamer in the long run? Do I want to be successful in it? Do I just want to have my friends hang?
Yeah. No, I feel that. I was just going to say, it's also the understanding that it's okay not to want that. Like, you don't have to create content to still have fun on Twitch and stream to your friends. Like, that's okay too. But if you want to grow, obviously there's things that you have to do. Like, you cannot just sit there and stream to your friends if you want to grow. Unless your friend is like someone famous that can
I don't know if anybody
spam
else
you.
has this feeling anymore, but like at this point, it's not that I want success or I don't want it or anything. It's more just I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
I know that I enjoy streaming, and as far like I love it when I am actively talking to someone. If I'm just sitting there and like the chat's not moving or like there's you know what I mean? It's not as much about there's no viewers, it's just like I like that interaction.
Yeah.
I genuinely do like that, and I think it helps me a lot as far as just having human interaction in general. Um, but yeah, I just am more at this point like whatever happens, it'll happen, and I don't have any expectations or yeah,
Goals.
or goals. Yeah,
Or dreams.
or dreams. I'm just content, and yeah, I always will be.
Isn't this a struggle between like
Tomorrow.
trying to have a, trying to feel successful and amazing and like you are doing a lot of work, like the struggle between that and then also being like, why can't I just be content and happy with what I have? Like, why do I have to feel like I have to work hard? Why can't I
Well,
just be where I am?
I don't. I think this relates, but like me, for example, I write books, and the fact that I even wrote like the
Link
fact that I
below.
wrote what
Freezing. No, I'm kidding. Go. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
the fact the fact that I wrote one book, let alone four, like the fact that I wrote a book in general is an accomplishment. But to me, because I don't have like massive success with it, it's like I don't see it as one.
Yeah.
But making content in general, whether it be writing, singing, like anything, it's like that's an accomplishment in itself that a lot of people they don't have the ability to do anyway, or they don't want to show it, or they're afraid to show it, or whatever. But it's like because like this massive success isn't there, it's like it's not good enough.
Right.
And I think that's what needs to go away in our psyches, at least in mine for sure.
Yeah.
Because I've accomplished a lot. I just because there's not like a dollar sign behind it or something, it's like it's not what it should be or something. When really it is.
I think one of the other big factors in it with how we see our success, whether it be on Twitch or any other kind of platform, is how we compare ourselves to others. And I've already mentioned that at the same time when I started streaming, Gray was still a new streamer, but he had just started. Oh, Jamil. Jamil was like had just started streaming, but he had been streaming for a little bit longer than I have. And at that time, I've met a few other streamers, and seeing their views, seeing how many people tuned in, how many hours they put into streaming, like that made me question how good I am as a content creator. And that affected me heavily for a couple of months, where I would go live and I would see like one average viewer, and I'm grateful for them. I really am because they kept me company through a video game. Um,
Sorry,
and
go.
no, but like honestly, like I am grateful because I can tell you who they are. Um, but it made me question myself and be like, well, am I'm doing this to be a form of entertainment when it comes to horror games, to expose people that scary games aren't scary. You can make it into a funny situation. I'm like, am I even doing a good job at it if I'm not? But then again, like again, I'm just a baby streamer.
Yeah.
I've only had like a few months of streaming, and then seeing my few months compared to your few months or someone else's few months, and seeing that you guys had like 12, which might not seem like a lot, but if you're a new streamer, 12 viewers is pretty big. Um, like you just start to feel bad, and I think it started affecting me for a while, where I'm just like, well, maybe it's boring. Maybe people don't want to watch me. And the truth is like no one knows you.
Yeah.
Keep going. That's
They haven't had the chance to discover you yet.
yeah, and like that's the one thing I would tell myself. Like again, remember, you're not in it to be successful. You're in it to make friends. You're in it to find people who have the same interests as you, who have the same sense of humor as you. Anyone who's willing to communicate and or talk to you, because that's what you want in life. Like I personally just want friendships. I feel like I've accomplished that. I've made some wonderful friends. I consider you two my best friends, even though we've never really met in person. You are people I talk to every day. You're one of the first few people online that I've ever given my phone number out to. So stop messaging.
At 3 a.m.
Stop yelling.
But
No, I agree.
yeah, and it sucks that you see that, like, because we all started as sort of like DBD stream, right? And Muggle touched up on that, and he's like, well, I stopped enjoying that game, but I still played it because that's what was giving me views. And then the moment you decide to branch out and do something different, the views kind of leave
Freezing.
with
Boy.
I'm gonna more. Oh, see, slowly smiling. Oh, he's slowly unsmiling.
Okay, we're back.
We're good.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's one of like the biggest things, especially being an LGBT content creator. You see it all the time. Dead by Daylight is a cult classic with a bunch of LGBT viewers and streamers, but it does sting when you form this community and they kind of leave based on what game you play.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, and that makes you question. And I'm not blaming the viewer because honestly, like you get to choose whether you're in it for a video game or for the person. But for a streamer, it's like you were just there for a video game.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but like there's people that like I'm the type of person that's there for the streamer.
Hmm.
Like I'm not one of those people that gets super into a game and like all the latest updates is like talking to the streamer about it like, "Hey, did you see this outfit?" Like that's just not me. But it's cool that that's whatever, that's it people are just different. And it's like I guess when it comes to your personal community that you were building, it's like I would rather have people that come for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if they come for the game, that's fine too. But I can't feel bad if they only come for the game because that's not on me, and it's not like I'm doing anything wrong. And I can't keep playing a game just because I know like oh they'll be back. You know?
Yeah. I agree. I think both ways are fine. You know, if they're coming just for the game or if they're coming just to watch you. I think it also depends on how long they've been watching and how long or how close you feel with the viewer in the first place. Um like when like my last stream, I noticed I literally mentioned my cooking stream like 14 times. But it was because when someone came in the chat that I thought would have fun and be interested in the stream, I wanted to bring it up again so they actually could remember and be there. Because I know not everyone has Discord, you know, notifications on or follows me on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. But I just wanted to make sure the people that I thought would enjoy something else were gonna know, right? And I think that's the whole idea about it is you get someone to join because of the game, and then you keep them because of your personality, and then you offer up new stuff, in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Period.
No, I just bring it up because I know that a lot of us did have that moment in streaming. Maybe not a lot of us, but the ones that I did talk to, where they switched from DVD to another video game.
You can say Overwatch and trigger me.
Yeah, where they switched to DVD to Overwatch or to any other kind of game, basically, and that viewership drops, and there's a moment where you question yourself, and you're just like, is this boring? Like, is this the content people want to see? And there's that moment of realization where, like, well, this is what they're gonna get.
Yeah. But also just I mean, not that the viewer literally has no um no responsibility, no, I don't know, anything. They don't owe us anything.
They don't.
But
They
just
really
the
don't.
idea that streamers have feelings too is a thing. I don't know.
But like that's what I want to talk about because I know that whoever is listening to this might or whoever does listen to this whenever they do listen to it are probably trying to get their foot into streaming as well. And we've all had that person in chat being like, "Well, how are you so successful at it?" And in reality, you're just like, "Am I successful at it?" Like I have my friends who are joining me and they're literally just watching. The people who watch me, I know them. I know what their favorite food is. I know all these like specific things what their favorite game is. I don't consider them viewers. I consider them sort of friends.
Yeah.
Um,
And then when your friends aren't there watching you, like you feel bad at you like I know if not at least one of you or like um one of the other members, like the person that showed up earlier, like if someone's not there that I actively know, it's like it's not like oh like they must not want to see me or something, but it's just like you like having that comfort of knowing like you'll have you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like someone you know is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I
Where you, I
love
don't see it as a viewer, I see it as a yeah.
I love seeing my chat filled with all of you guys literally just fighting each other about
I
stupid shit. And it's
love
literally my favorite thing. Like I won't even respond to any of it, but just watching it is just like that's me in the stream. Like I just that's my stream is just watching chat and how you guys are just interacting. Like I love that aspect of it. Just seeing all my friends all in one spot chatting about the dumbest shit
yeah.
and making fun of me. But yeah, I know everyone wants that that sense of community when they're streaming, but you just got to give it time. But it also makes you think like the big streamers or the people that have, let's say, 75 viewers or not. I don't like jump into their streams actively, but when I do, I see obviously most of the same people always in there, right? And I wonder like, do they feel that close with all of them, or is that a thing? Like I know we have our niche kind of community that I feel close with, at least a good like 6 of you, and then there's probably like another 10 that I can like message at any time, and we can have a conversation about. And that's usually my solid like 15 viewers, right, that just show up every time. But I wonder like, are they that close with that many viewers, or are they just like all lurkers, or you know what I mean? Like I just always think about it.
Well, and it's interesting too, like think about like your favorite streamer. Like um as far as a bigger streamer and the relationship you have formed with them without even like talking to them really. Because like I said, I'm not a big chatter, but like I like a lot of gays like love Casey Tron, and I feel very close to her because I've watched her and observed her and seen her go through this and this. I've never talked to her personally or gotten to know her, but it's like there's at least one person like that watches you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they don't feel the need to speak, but they enjoy you and they feel close to you, and you know what I mean?
I would hope so. And I think
Yeah.
that's what everybody hopes.
And I think that's a good thing when you at cuz like I think that's success with streaming right there is being able to form a bond with someone just through your personality
Yeah,
and being yourself.
like I think about like YouTubers, right? And how like with Twitch you can get to know your viewers really easily just because you can talk to them, right? Like live. And they can play games with you and all that stuff. But a YouTuber sometimes I feel like doesn't have that because it's not live, it's just a video. But you just look at all their comments and people just like spewing love and just hearts and like, oh my god, I love you, you're so amazing. It's just like I want that. I want people to, at least like want to get to know me. And even if they don't know who I am, kind of thing. Um, I don't know. I think
Like
that'd be
if I make you feel like good, like just like with I was telling you Jamil the other day, like the first time I ever got like a really good review for like one of my books and like just that it affected them, like knowing like I changed someone in like a good way, like that's really important to me.
yeah,
Making someone feel good because I know how things can make me feel. Like
yeah.
a book I really love, or like if a streamer is really funny or just really touching and it just really affects me and it puts me in a good mood or whatever, like it does a lot for you. So just knowing that, you know.
Like, I know it's not okay, so I'm not a person that like comments on stuff like Instagram posts and YouTube videos. But you guys know I've been kind of getting into K-pop recently. And I've been obsessed with TXT, and I've gone out of my way to like write on their videos and comment on their Instagram posts. And I'm just like, who the fuck am I? And it's because they have like they're fucking adorable human beings that are so kind and so nice. That from like what I can see. Like I want to show my love for them. Like it's crazy. But yeah. That's all.